I'm gonna fly in early just to make sure I don't miss the court date.
I don't want to miss it. I just want to be relaxed, so I need to go get a massage for myself. And I'm going to make cumsies in my old man boxers.
Welcome to the Chip and Cern Show, the podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. They were possibly separated at birth, only to be rejoined to create the sweet sounds that will caress your deepest cochlea. This show is real, random, rant-filled, and ruthless. Please be warned that this show may hurt your feelings, offend your grandma, and even kick your dead dog in the balls. So get ready, and let's get this shit started.
This shit has started. I am Chip.
I'm Cern.
And you are listening to the Chip and Cern Show.
Once again, or for the very first time.
We're here in Studio
East.
I almost said West. I almost fucked it up.
I know. I jumped in for you.
And Cern got us some beers from almost as far east as you can go.
Yes.
Portland, Maine.
Yep. New England IPA Finder.
Now, what is this little... It's a blue can, and there's like... Is this like a heat signature?
Yeah, it's almost like the Predator looking for
yes.
Its next victim.
That's a movie I need to rewatch, The Predator. There's so many good lines in that movie.
Oh, I know. I love it. All right, let's take over this thing.
Oh, let me get in here.
There we go. This is a 7.0.
Whoo, daddy.
So it's got a little punch to it.
New England. Let's see.
How's
the nose,
nice.
Ernie? How's
smells
the nose?
Good. Smells nice and citrusy, kind of refreshing.
Okay, let's see.
Ooh, I like it. I do like it.
This has Citra, Mosaic, and Eldorado hops. In our opinion, it creates a drinkable and juicy ale with flavors of grapefruit, orange, and lemongrass. Slight bitterness and notes of tropical sweetness. We've just found our new favorite IPA. Hashtag Finder Beer.
Finder beer.
Now, this is good.
Oh, the dogs are going nuts.
Now, Cerny, would this be a beer that you would enjoy during the Super Bowl? Or the Super Bowl day is like a long... I think of it, I compare it to a marathon from a drinking standpoint.
Yeah, this would be one of those. I maybe open up the day with it.
Yeah.
Just have one because it is a 7. So
you knock back a 4-pack of this, you're gonna miss the thickest halftime with the Shakira and J-Lo. But you know who's not in the Super Bowl this year? The New England Patriots.
Oh, that's great.
To everyone's happiness. And this sort of tangents us into the Killer Inside, the Mind of Aaron Hernandez, Netflix.
He will also not be in the Super Bowl.
No, he won't be.
Or any more Super Bowls.
Rip. He gone. So this came out, and not everyone, I feel like when the Aaron Hernandez thing broke, there was this odd trend almost of like high-profile murderers. The spatula legs guy, right? The Olympian.
Oh,
and then Aaron Hernandez,
the Blade Runner, or whatever they called him. Yeah,
and then even Chapman too. Like, I mean, they look like spatulas, right?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so Aaron Hernandez hung himself in his cell after this like double spoiler.
I mean, if you don't know he's dead, then you don't watch the news.
Yeah, you haven't seen the news. So this show came out, and my wife and I started it, and I texted her and I said, "Let's finish this before we record," and then I neglected to finish it.
So I did finish it. It's 3 episodes or a 3-part series.
Yeah,
so to go through the.
I'm about 2.5. I finished the first episode. I'm halfway through the second one.
Okay.
And I was a little reluctant to continue because it sort of was bumming me out, and I don't know. I was just like not in the right way to watch it, so I just declined.
I didn't love it either.
And it wasn't super hooking me like Making a Murderer or any of these Raw 4 type shows.
No, it was. I didn't. It
didn't.
No, and
really draw you in.
So, and I don't really even need to have like the hooks. It's just informational itself. Usually it gets me going.
Yeah, but
it just didn't, because the connections they were trying to make, and we'll get into it a little bit.
Okay,
it was just kind of wasn't. I thought that was kind of a reach. Like, I want you're gonna make the statement, fine. Now I want to see something to back it up.
A little bit of evidence.
Yes.
Okay. Unless this is an impeachment hearing, then we don't want to hear anything about evidence, or we don't want any witnesses.
We just got to read the transcript.
We're just going to read it. And anyway, we digress. So, Cerny, you saw the whole thing. What do you think the tomato meter is on this? From the critics' rating, there's only 10.
Oh.
And then the audience score, they're only 1 percentage point.
So 10, I'm going to say it's got to be, then it's going to say it's 70%.
80.
Oh.
And the audience scored it an 81.
Oh.
So, what would Cerny give the series?
A 60, maybe a 55.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, it's not.
So you're not recommending it? The Chip and Cern
you wouldn't
official.
really miss out on anything.
Okay.
If especially if you are a sports
now,
fan.
what if I was a
huge
huge Patriots fan?
They definitely don't see it because they.
Oh.
I mean, they paint Robert Kraft in a nice light because he comes down to one of his
jerk offs.
Hearings. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably after a rub-a-tug.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was held in Florida, then he's probably like, oh, I'll be there.
Oh yeah. He goes, hold on, I'll be there. I'm gonna be super relaxed.
I'm gonna fly in early just to make sure I don't miss the court date.
I don't want to miss it. I just want to be relaxed, so I need to go get a massage for myself. And I'm gonna make cumsies in my old man boxers, and then I'll show up to this person who I probably think I own, as a slave owner's mentality, as all these NFL owners are, and probably if it works out that he goes to jail, that's fine. We have a fat insurance policy on him, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna bring my fucking heavily tanned ass there.
It's interesting. So, and they kind of, at some point, I believe, I don't know if it's in number 2 or whatnot, they kind of try to throw, like, well, maybe the Patriots didn't really help him because they kind of knew he was kind of fucked up, but they turned a blind eye because he was so. Okay, that's sports. That's if you
they're
produce,
doing that with a lot of shit. And
you produce,
then
you could smack around your old lady and we'll go.
Oh yeah,
unless it comes out on footage, then you're like, oh, well, we gotta.
Oh yeah, or if you take a knee, that's a problem too. But you could beat up your old lady or whatever. Yeah. So I guess I'll speak to the first episode, and Cerny could take us the rest of the way. But it kind of goes into how he's a phenom during high school.
Yes.
Seems like a really good kid, and his big brother is playing football at like UConn.
Something like that, yeah.
And then everyone's kind of thinking, hey, Aaron's going to just follow in his footsteps, blah, blah, blah. He takes one trip down to Miami, Florida, at the Gators, and he commits there on the trip.
Yes, that's right.
And this is about a month or so after his dad died, right?
Yeah, his dad had died, and then his mom got a new boyfriend, right?
I must have missed that part.
Okay.
So right away, and his dad didn't seem like. His dad was very influential on his life, but he didn't seem like he was a great guy.
No, I kind of gathered, and this is just my own thing, he almost had like the Stockholm Syndrome. Like his dad was such an authoritarian kind of guy.
Yes.
Maybe feared him, but still, like loved the guy even though he was...
Beat the shit out of you and all this stuff. And it came out in the first episode, the quarterback of the high school that Aaron Hernandez played at, they were sort of secret lovers,
yes.
So it kind of came out there that Aaron Hernandez was a homosexual, which, fine. No problems there.
But my problem was, I don't know, maybe he was, but this guy seemed kind of like
what
he was too eager to be a part of the story. That's kind of what I was going to go. I was there. I know, kind of a thing. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, but it was kind of like, okay.
That seems like an odd thing to.
I don't think he's making it up. I don't know. And when they said he was like sexually abused, I was like, okay, I can see where he can, if maybe he has a girlfriend. I don't know. When they tried to tie it to he was just angry at life because he was gay and he couldn't show it, that's why he started killing people. I was like, I don't know.
Now, and we've seen that, and I thought it was really interesting. They had another linebacker, ex-NFL guy, and he said, or he is gay, and he said in college, like, he was having all these feelings, and he's like, I have to hide this. So in his mind, he thought he had to make himself as undesirable as possible.
He had to like butch himself up, I guess, right?
With
chewing dip.
He started dipping, wearing, like drinking Budweisers, He said he got up to like 370, and it's the fucking even the linebacker coach is like, whoa, you got to slow it down, kid, which is kind of something. And he just thought, if I get so ugly and so unlikable, then nobody will question why I don't have a girlfriend, right? Because it's so obvious, like you're just this disgusting, fat person sort of that has all these nasty habits, and that's why you don't have a girlfriend.
Yes.
And no one will question you, like, if you are gay or whatever. So, anyway. Now, I feel that, does that pretty much sum up the first episode and a half?
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up right there. And number 2 gets into kind of...
him being more like taking this bad path.
Yeah, hanging out with some guys. How he kind of knew Odin Lloyd, who, for those of you who don't know, and it's not a spoiler because you should know this by now because this happened. I mean, he's been dead since 2017, so he's been dead for 2 years.
Yeah,
3 years
now.
Yeah. So
that was the guy he was accused of killing.
Yes. And
there was a mountain of circumstantial evidence like fucking prints from his Jordans, his bubble gum that he chewed, his car tires.
There's video of him getting out of the car with
swerving.
His own videotape. Remember, there's a point in there where
I don't know if I saw that part,
because he had cameras in his own house, and he went through and started deleting videos.
Oh my god!
But he forgot to delete a couple of them, so it has he texts his old lady, whatever her name was. What was her name?
His fiance?
Yeah. While you look it up, he texts her saying, "Hey, I left something for you. Can you take it out for me?" And there's like video of her walking out with a trash bag, which looked like a gun, like a box, a gun safe thing, throwing it into the fucking, because he had like a lake or a pond, like a pond back there. They fished it out.
Shania Jenkins, or is that?
Yes, I think that's her.
Okay. Who they've been dating, or they they had a kid together. Their daughter was born in 2012, and he purchased a 8,100 square foot 4-story home in Massachusetts where the family lived.
Yeah, he had a.
That's a fucking pad.
He had a sprawler mansion going on.
So that's like 2.5 times as big as your house.
Oh yes, it is. Yeah. So it's
that's fucking huge.
Oh,
I don't even know. I couldn't even. What would you do? Why do you need a house? Well, anyway, I guess you got
4 stories too.
Dude, it only costs $1.3 million, which is the fucking crazy thing. Because for $1 million in San Francisco, you get maybe like an 800 square foot fucking studio apartment.
Yeah. So
anyway, the money goes a long way in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, but then you're also in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So they have been together for a while. Did she ever mention that she thought she was like suspect or
that he was gay? Or
yeah.
something? No. She said she didn't know about it, or she didn't.
Yeah.
So
she's like he kept wanting me to like wear a strap on.
I mean, they kept really. This was like their point they were trying to make, I think, and they were really trying to drive it home here.
Yeah.
It was like
just jam it in there.
Just
ride up.
Right in.
Yeah.
Dry.
Hold on. I'm getting a Woody. So the whole like narrative of the story was that he was had so much turmoil with his homosexuality that it caused him to like have like an break.
Yeah. So I mean, they would do things like hang out with the wrong guys and this and that, and then we think it's because then the quarterback guy would come up and be like, well, we spent the night together and we did this, so it was like he's fighting his own demons.
Now I can see, and when they kind of painted it or when they stitched it together a little bit of like he was gay and he was trying to hide it, so that's why he kind of tried to be this like gangster.
Yeah,
that made sense to me, and I'm sure that's something that probably happens a lot, and especially in, I guess, like that type of community, I would think that would happen a lot. And is there any openly gay NFL players right now? I don't think there is.
Playing? I don't know. I know that there was a guy that the Rams drafted, but then they cut.
Yeah, what was that?
Sam something.
Sam, yeah. So it's a pretty big thing. Football, in my opinion, is probably not the most like welcoming and inclusive community to the gays, in my opinion.
No.
But it is kind of homoerotic.
Well, actually,
It's
I
a
was talking
very
about this. I was
homoerotic
talking about
sport.
this at somebody at work, and she was talking about just sports in general, and she was making a point where she was saying whatever it was about sports and locker room behavior.
Yeah.
And I said, I started thinking about, I was like, you know what? It is just, even the shit that we did, just joking around, it's
Super
borderline
Super gay.
homosexual. And we didn't even think about it. It's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, right. And it was like, oh, yeah, you do something, or you try to like whip somebody, him in their dick, or
Oh, yeah.
spanking them.
Cupping them,
yeah,
or
like, oh, let me touch your penis and balls.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
all this.
Just random,
Yeah.
just grab ass.
But I feel a lot of the grab ass is par for the course for
Yeah.
high school boys.
Yeah, I think it is.
But anyway.
But so did you get to the part where when they were at the club with Odin Lloyd? And
No.
So there's a part
The
where
part that I got to was when he, the Florida coach started being really reluctant about letting Hernandez go up in the draft,
yeah.
and basically, from the show, Hernandez was supposed to be easy a first round. He had the talent of a first rounder,
yeah,
but he didn't get drafted until
maturity
the
level was
his maturity, like these private investigators and all this shit.
It's crazy. That was the one interesting part where they had like the whole like chart on him, like
That
all
was
the
fucking
NFL,
nuts.
Like, where they have his social maturity,
Yeah.
and all the other shit. Like they have like it's like almost like a standardized test. Like they come out and they review.
It was
them
like a
and
personality assessment, sort of.
Yeah.
That do you think they probably sat there and like interviewed with him or talked to his friends?
Yeah,
and
I think
all
they
this
do
stuff?
all of that. As I know, they said they sat down, they talked with him. Like I always see that on the news. Like
Yeah.
where I was like, okay, what the fuck? But now when I saw like the whole chart,
They
thing,
had
I was
a-
like, holy shit.
Yeah, they had probably 8 to 10 variables on one side, and then they had a bar chart that would go to the right about scoring from like 1 to 10, and social or like maturity was the lowest score on the whole thing.
Yeah.
And there would be like kind of aggression or anger, and they were like rating these sort of things on the scale.
That was weird.
And I guess he had failed some drug test at Florida every time he
Yes.
went back home to Connecticut, because he kind of met this drug dealer who was an undesirable type of character.
Yeah.
Who when they were reading off his, you currently have this many open felonies, and they read off things, and the guy's like, It's like assault with a deadly weapon, endangering children, like all this shit. He's like,
He had a rap sheet.
Yeah, he had a pretty big rap sheet there.
But during that time where they said they went to the club and they were having a good time, and then they said at some point in time, Aaron Hernandez was pissed at Odin Lloyd, and like he said, they stood off. The witnesses say he stood off with his arms folded, staring at him, pissed, from above the club, like they're sitting on the top,
Yeah, why did he get pissed at him though?
That's what they're trying to infer. They said they think that.
A lover's quarrel, potentially.
Well, they think that he found out that he was homosexual and he was going to tell. This is where I had my beef. It's like some automatically at the club, like did he do the toe tap underneath the stall?
Yeah.
And it was him like, hey dude, what the fuck, kind of a thing, or
I want to suck your cock. What? Who is that? Aaron? Oh fuck!
no.
I'm gonna have to shoot you.
So this is where I had the problem. Like,
I don't. I see if you're so paranoid about people finding out, and he's probably thinking that the crew, that he rolled with or whatever, like what they would have done.
Yeah.
And I could see how if you were had a little bit not clearly thinking in the head, and you had ripped through 42 packs of Black and Mild blunts, that Swishers, some Henny and some Listerine strips, you would be
Dr. Green them. Thoughts.
You would. I see how you could maybe think that was the easiest way to take care of your problem.
So I'll kind of fast forward to the end of the series
Where he dies.
Yeah, after he dies or whatever, and then they bring up CTE.
Right. Okay.
So then they show his brain, and he had like one of the most advanced CTEs,
Yeah.
And that was probably more compelling because it talked about,
right,
hey, these are some of the symptoms of CTE. You don't think because it's your frontal lobe gets damaged. So it's not, you don't quite think through consequences. You're more impulsive. You have mood swings, this shit like that. So it's like one of those like.
So in his head, he's like, how do I shut this motherfucker up? And he's like, kill him.
Yeah.
Like, cool, let's do it.
It's like he's just, you become more impulsive. So it's like one of those like, well, maybe it really wasn't even that he was gay and he was just trying to, if he was, whatever. But I'm just saying maybe more so he was driven to murder this guy because he may have already been kind of that way. And then CTE only,
amplified,
exacerbated the.
Interesting. And there was some, so Aaron Hernandez, like sexuality plays a big part in this whole thing.
Yes.
And he was calling his, excuse me, I thought it was weird. Was it his like auntie or some shit that was going through breast cancer?
Yeah, or his cousin.
That hid the car for him.
Yeah.
And I think Honda missed a big sponsorship opportunity for this special for the Odyssey.
I mean,
you could fit many dead bodies in here. And no, that's right. He was calling his wife and he's like, this is an all male prison, right? And he's like, yeah, except for those things. And she goes, they're transsexual. They're people just like you. And he goes, nah, they're, very homophobic speaking, which I feel like, as time goes on, the more homophobic somebody is, the more they probably are dealing with some feelings themselves that they're trying to
like
all the Republican senators that are, we should outlaw
fire and brimstone about how you're going to hell, and then
and then they're fucking deep throating two dudes in a truck stop. But I think according to the Boston Globe, Hernandez was prone to going on homophobic rants. That on one call he admitted he was attracted to men and said it made him angry all the time. Now,
and again,
I mean that's a very sad thing, and when I hear that and think like somebody's in that much turmoil because of who they are, like I don't know, I just feel really bad for that, and I hope that nobody I know has that sort of thing, because I would hope that they would feel okay enough to come out and do that, but I understand how people would not be doing that. But so apparently he had some like pretty significant paranoia going on too. According to Wikipedia here, he believed the FBI was out to get him. He slept with a large knife by his bed and had a lot of weapons.
Which is strange.
He had some friends be his bodyguard 24 hours a day, really sophisticated surveillance system, which as Cerny mentioned was his like undoing. Hernandez approached Belichick in a deepened state of paranoia, saying he feared for his family's safety.
When he wanted to be traded, I believe.
Yeah.
And they said no. He said nope.
He purchased a used car with 2 handguns and 2 rifles inside, and a Suburban that had been outfitted as an armored car. He had secret compartments installed as vehicles to store firearms.
Wow.
While being driven, he refused to travel in cars without tinted windows, fearing that one of his enemies might see him. And his teammates were saying Hernandez was prone to wild mood swings and become more agitated as time went on. He said he would go from being hyper-masculine to talking about cuddling with his mom. And as a patriot, he smoked large quantities of marijuana and other drugs, including cocaine.
Oh.
Why would you smoke?
Crack cocaine, I
Yeah.
guess?
Oh, crack, yeah. Because I feel usually you're, snorting it.
But
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm not too versed with that.
That's it's never a demon we dealt with too.
No.
And so which is for the best.
We end up like that fool from the Mighty Ducks.
Mario Estevez?
No, that. Hold on,
Oh boy, we're taking a
turn here.
Oh wow! After the release of Boston University's statement saying something about CTE, his fiance and daughter sued the Patriots at NFL for causing his death and depriving her daughter of his father's companionship, arguing that Hernandez's NFL career has caused what researchers described as the most severe case of CTE medically seen in a person his age. The suit was dismissed in 2019 because of the deadline to opt out for class action lawsuit, and the league had missed.
So
Guess the league had been missed.
here we go. Here's our version. Sean Weiss.
Oh,
Sean Weiss.
damn, that's tough. Oh, that sucks.
So I think they found him in Marysville. He was trying to rob somebody. He was on meth. Yeah, I know. It's like Marysville. Holy shit! How the mighty have fallen.
So he played the kind of like chubby, lovable.
I think he was the
Latino.
goalie. Was he the goalie?
Yeah. Mighty Ducks. This is from page 6, and they're showing a picture. Like I guess it's his mugshot.
Yeah, that's his
Unrecognizable.
No.
Unrecognizable. How
That's-
old a fella is he? Skull. There's.
41.
Oh, I mean, he looks 60.
Oh yeah, he does. Damn. There he is right
Damn. That's sad. That's sad.
there. Yeah, it is.
So, what?
See what she looks like. Sorry.
That's okay. Oh, is that his?
This is his wife.
Whoa. Smoke show.
Yeah, I know. She.
Huh. So now, did they go into much about the suicide?
I think like 'cause he even said something like "You're rich." He wrote a letter to his fiancee. And I forget what the technicality is, but she didn't get the money.
Right, because most life insurances you can't.
Well, not even just.
They're nullified
It
if
wasn't even
you're-
just like I don't think she even got most of like what he had anyway.
Oh, really?
It was something weird. I can't remember what happened.
Oh,
all of a
interesting.
sudden.
So Hernandez's attorney. Oh, here we go. The State Department of Corrections said that no suicide note was found. In an initial search of the two-person cell, which he occupied alone, shampoo was covering the floor. Cardboard was wedged under the cell door to make it more difficult for someone to enter.
Ah.
There were drawings in blood on the walls showing an unfinished pyramid and an all-seeing eye of God and the word Illuminati written in capital letters underneath. Investigators reported that 3 handwritten notes were found next to a Bible opened up to John 3:16, and that John 3:16 was written on his forehead in red ink. Ooh. Clearly not like in a great
No.
mental
No, he was
state.
not. He was not. That was right after he won his appeal, or he actually had the second case where
He got acquitted or whatever?
yeah, the double murder in Massachusetts.
So is he about to like get out or something? Or
No, I think he already got slapped with life for the
the other one,
related.
okay.
Yeah, they're just trying to tack on some more.
Apparently, Hernandez told his mom, "I've never been more relaxed and less stress in jail than I have out of jail." Interesting. However, he'd be punished on multiple occasions for breaking prison rules, including screaming and banging his head on the cell door.
Wow.
Over the course of 4 years, he increasingly turned to the Bible and became more religious. Prison officials seem to have turned a blind eye to his drug use and neglected to safeguard their
That's right, 'cause
famous
he was
inmate.
smoking the K2 in there.
What's K2?
It's like a synthetic marijuana. I think it's a little more potent.
Oh, interesting. How does this all like happen
The
in
K2?
jail? Yeah,
I don't know. I was wondering, like, how the fuck do you get that? I mean, I'm sure they smuggle it, like the old school, like
yeah,
in the laundry hamper. You know, like
yeah. Trade you a carton of cigarettes for some K2.
Shit.
That's interesting. Yes. Oh, here we go. A drug associated with psychosis within 30 hours of his death. Looking up. Oh yeah, synthetic cannabinoids. So synthetic marijuana. It's a designer drug commonly sprayed into plant matter and usually smoked. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. Often labeled not for human consumption. Okay.
Well,
Why don't you get a fucking J for yourself? Negative side effects including palpitations, paranoia, increased anxiety, nausea, vomiting, confusion, poor coordination, and seizures.
I think the paranoia comes into play here.
Yeah, seemingly so. Well, so Cerny, we're not really recommending this show to anybody.
No, I mean, if you're interested, then go ahead. But I wasn't like on the edge of my seat or
Yeah,
like blown away.
I probably won't finish it then. I should tap.
I mean,
tap
you
out?
know the end. I mean, he gets convicted.
There's no big, gotchas or anything like in Making a Murder. Or anything?
No,
Okay.
there's no big gotchas. It's all, it kind of rolls into a stop. That's basically how it goes.
And you finished it, and you're like,
okay,
probably could have used like those 3 hours back in my life.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, all right. Well, this is everything I already knew. So fuck.
Well, anyway, I guess that's that. If you have different opinions about the Aaron Hernandez documentary,
Absolutely. You can
You
reach
can
out
shoot
to
it
us
over
at
us.
chipandcernshow@gmail.com or on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything Chip and Cern Show. Just Google Chip and Cern Show. You can slide in our DMs or you can post on our walls, whatever you feel like. We will
post on our wall. Facebook is fucking useless.
Yeah.
We get the thing. We have like 300 fans. They haven't heard from you in a while. I'm
I
like,
know, like,
hey, we haven't heard from them either, so
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what the fuck you want us to do, man. I don't think
Ditto.
Mr.
Ditto.
Zuck. Duh. You don't send them messages, hey, Chip and Cern haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, they don't. Our posts don't even come up because the algorithm kind of just
Oh, yeah.
squashes us.
We're
fuck
getting,
you, Zuck.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, I guess enjoy the show or not, but
I mean, if you want to watch it and tell us we're wrong, it was gripping. You thought it was very informative. That's okay. Well, it's not gonna hurt my feelings.
and there's no super conspiracy theories. It's not like as divisive as Making a Murder or anything like that.
No. They really lean on he's struggling with sexuality, and this is what kind of made him angry and very unpredictable.
Okay. Well, not unpredictably, we're ending this episode.
There you go.
Until next time, I'm Chip.